everybody, welcome to another installment of Thinking Out Loud with the Alex Manassa. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about, actually let me pull up my list. Here's the list, here's the list, here's the list. Here is the list. Right, okay, so today I want to talk about two adjectives that I find very, very much associated with certain people, right? And mostly associated with youth. That adults encourage. I never blame the youth for how the youth are. They're 100% a product of the people who are supposed to be their caretakers and mentors and guides. If there's anything wrong with the youth, it is the guides, teachers, and mentors that have failed them, right? All right. So the adjectives that I take issue with is the adjectives of strong and independent. Okay, strong and independent. You see that a lot associated with, especially young people who are empowered. It actually follows them onto their careers. Like, that's a strong, independent woman. He's such a strong, independent man. That sort of thing. And I want to know, what the heck do they mean by strong and independent, right? So one of my jobs as an engineer, I should just have an air horn or something sound every time I say "as an engineer," right? I say it so much, but it is who I am. I've been an engineer since. I had an engineer's brain since I was reading Dilbert in the 5th grade. I kid you not, I was reading Dilbert. The adjectives of strong and independent, what do they mean, right? So strong, I'd like to take the extreme examples. That's how you find out what a system is. You go to the farthest examples. I mean, bullies are strong, all right? The Unabomber was pretty independent, okay? So what kind of strong? Now, they have got a lot of other bad qualities with them too, right? Qualities that make them unfit for society. But when it comes to what is a strong for a bully is physical strength. Are we looking for physical strength? Let's say strong like someone who is really, really headstrong and really wants to keep going and doesn't care what you think, right? Is that strong? Okay. I mean, it sounds like our president right now does what they want to do. Okay. Do you think all of the young people should be like our president? I'm sure that the people who I'm mostly taking issue with would say no. I don't think anybody should be like anybody else. I think we should just try and be ourselves and learn what makes our better self, right? But when you come to strong, I think you need a better word. That's the problem I have with it. If you say that I'm self-assertive, like I assert myself, I defend myself, that's good. But the problem is strong can also mean someone who's really offensive. Like if I say, I think policy X should not exist, and someone who's strong disagrees with me, they would just come after me. That's not, is that the strength that you want? Somebody's just going to harangue you because they disagree. Like if I disagree on, let's say, nuclear power, right? I think nuclear power is a thing that we should be researching and doing more of, and we have very safe reactors these days that have no failures. We have an entire Navy that runs on nuclear energy without a single incident. At least no incident I know of. Maybe there's an incident that I'm not aware of. It's a possibility. But we have a lot of nuclear reactors that are floating out in the ocean on wartime vehicles, and it seems to not be a big concern. I say that, and then someone else comes after me and starts interrogating me. I wouldn't say that person is strong, right? I would say they were strong, but that's not the kind of strength that you want. That's an offensive strength. When you're assertive, you might say, well, I disagree on that point, Alex, and here are my points. And that's fine. So strong and independent by themselves is not good. Let's go to independent, right? So independence means, I don't need anybody else. I just need me. That is the worst way to be. A lot of preppers, like people who are the end of the world types, especially people who aren't really preppers, I guess there's like this hobby or fashion prepper. They buy the guns and the survival gear and all this other stuff, and they got their zombie scenario. I feel like real earnest preppers are actually very they know how to coexist and work with their community. But I'm talking about your sort of preppers that think they're just going to get through the apocalypse in a shack out in West Virginia with a ton of canned beans and make it, right? Independence is good. You should have independence. You also need to know how to work with people, okay? The greatest skill you could have in a post-apocalyptic scenario would be the idea that the ability to muster your neighbors, to defend yourselves, to go into some common enterprise for the good of everyone, that kind of thing. Being independent means being set aside from others. I would say instead of strong and independent, I would say assertive and self-actualized, something like that. Like really, they're themselves. They're really comfortable in their own skin. That's what I would say. Actually, comfortable in your own skin means that you is everything, right? That you need there. It means that you're comfortable being yourself, so you can say what's on your mind. You're okay with what's on your mind. You don't mind being wrong. You don't cower away when you're right. And when it comes to being independent, that has implied independence to it too. Like you're comfortable in your own skin. You're just fine. You're cool with being yourself. That doesn't emphasize the fact that you stand alone. I think being able to stand alone, I guess it's fine. You can live that way. Maybe that is for some people. I think that cooperation and getting to know people, like even the most, is important, and in fact essential to us being humans. We're social creatures, so unless you have like Asperger's or autism or something like that, or some other condition where you really just don't need a lot of human contact, which I'm saying is if you have that, then that's fine. I mean, that's more power to you. But let's be real with ourselves. Most of us are not in that camp, and we do need other people. So being independent, I guess, is fine. Being able to stand on your own is good. But you got to be able to work with other people. You got to be able to disagree with other people. You've got to be... I've never heard strong and independent, like, maybe you have. Maybe I have very limited experience in life. But usually when I hear strong and independent, the vision that comes to my mind and the thing that actually manifests in reality in front of me, the person they're talking about, is just a toxic person. I'm just going to not mince words here. Strong and independent people that I know have been the most toxic people I've ever met. It's like they don't need you, that you're in their way. I'm going to get whatever value I can out of you and go on because I'm strong, so I'm going to take what I want, and I'm independent. I don't need you after you're done. After I'm done with you. It's like, I don't need that. I don't need strong and independent. I want a good, fair, ruler. I want someone who's prudent. I want someone who is inclusive. I want someone who is realistic but also compassionate, right? Practical, yet understands the impracticality and irrationality of our own minds. Someone who can have a complete picture. I want someone who's, dare I say, comfortable in their own skin, right? I want someone who can be themselves. If you happen to be a leader, then be a leader. Not everyone's a leader. In fact, I'd say most people are not leaders. If you find yourself agreeing a lot with the people around you, that is a really good clue that you are not a leader at all. Right? I disagree with people constantly. Sometimes that loses me friendships. Those aren't friendships to begin with as far as I'm concerned. I just disagree respectfully. I'm like, maybe I'm wrong, right? And then I say what I'm going to say, and then sometimes they're like, no, don't want you around here. Ugh, that's fine, whatever. That's the strength, I guess. I think the strength should really come from the idea that you can be wrong and you can be right, and it's the sort of emotionally it's the same thing for you, whether you're right or you're wrong. I would say that's temperance, right? So instead of strength, do you mean temperance? Someone who is just non-flustered, nonplussed by the world. They are themselves. They stay at a tempered rate. That might be what you mean, but strong and independent are just too broad and too closely associated with a lot of toxic, bad people as far as I'm concerned, that I just hate using them. Like strong and independent. And it's like the new nice. Like, oh, they're nice. It's like a word that you use to cover the fact that somebody has a huge personality flaw. If you say they're nice, that's actually a code word for they're extremely boring. There's nothing special about them. Oh, he's nice. He's nice. Okay. All right. And he's okay. So he hasn't tried to attack you or steal any of your stuff. Okay. So that's all right. He's nice. He's smart. He's smart. Usually that means that they're kind of clever, but they're not actually good at anything, or else you'd talk about the thing they were good at. If all you hear is that someone's smart, that means nothing. Smart is the new nice. If you say that they're a really great person once you get to know them, that just means that person's a jerk. And there's like a 50-50 chance they're actually a good person when you get to know them. Most of the time I find people who are a jerk at the first tend to stay a jerk. The way you treat people, strangers, is the way I think the way you treat strangers is the person who you are on the inside. Everything else is trying to impress the people around you or the people who have something to give you. The way you treat people that have nothing to offer you, I think that's your true self. No getting around that. Picture a strong and independent person in your mind, and now imagine that strong and independent person reacting to getting the wrong order at a restaurant. How does that strong and independent person treat the waitstaff? Right? In your mind, you're probably auto-completing it to be like, oh, that person's going to be a jerk. You know? Strong and independent. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, Vladimir Putin is also strong and independent. Is that who you're talking about? Is that what you mean? Like strong and independent. Okay. So they're strong like a wine, or strong like a sauce or something, like a hot sauce. It's just, there's a lot of them. They really come on strong, and they're independent. So they really impose themselves, and they don't give a damn about you. Sorry, I cursed, but that's what strong and independent means to me. Maybe it means something else to you guys too. Maybe it's just something completely harmless. But if you in your mind you picture someone who's nice, right? In my mind, I picture Milhouse Van Houten from The Simpsons. That's my nice person. Someone who's smart. That's a lot of people I knew from college that just didn't make it through. Because after a while, smart, by the way, is secondary to discipline every time. I would much rather be disciplined than smart. Smart is a shortcut that only gets you so far. Discipline is the long road that takes you all the way. Sorry, I got a thing in my eye. Right? So I'd rather be disciplined than smart. What is it? He's a good person once you get to know him. That person's a jerk. Like that's the dad from Sling Blade. As far and strong and independent. Strong and independent is that person's a treat. That person's a treat is what that is. All right. Can you guys think of any other adjectives that don't mean what they're supposed to mean? That they're euphemisms, they're covers, there's probably a lot out there. I'm thinking of some. I won't take all the fun though. You guys go ahead and post yours. All right. Well, this has been Thinking Out Loud with the Alex Manassa. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the smash button and subscribe. I put out electronics lessons, binary logic lessons, stuff that engineers know that everyone else should. My specialty is embedded engineering, so I do a lot of programming for microcontrollers and the such. So those are the little controllers that inside of all of your electronics. Like this almost certainly has a microcontroller that takes the analog microphone signal in, then digitizes it, then does some sort of processing on it, because I see there's a 3-way slide switch on the back here that sets a different setting, which changes the directionality. So it's probably doing some addition, some math with the audio streams in. There's probably actually at least 3 microphones in there, and it's doing some mixing. And then it turns it into a USB device, probably with a microcontroller, like the kind I program. Gives the report descriptor. Gives the descriptor, sends the report, sends the packets. I think the packets have to be requested by the main computer, but it sends the audio packets as requested, and that's just the microphone. So it's some really cool stuff. I hope you guys come by there. I don't pull any punches. I teach it exactly like I'm teaching a new employee, or if I'm mentoring an employee or something like that. So I don't go at child speed. I go at adult speed. If I go too fast on those videos, you can just hit pause. Well, hopefully you guys join me on the journey. All right. It's been a lot of fun, and it will be fun. All right. This has been the Alex Manassa. Like the smash button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.